Story number 1. Have you ever faced a breakup where the reason seemed unclear only to discover later that your partner was grappling with guilt and decided you deserve better? In today's video, we delve into the journey of a man who was unexpectedly dumped by his girlfriend, who in truth was wrestling with the aftermath of her own betrayal. Fast forward a few years, and the person she cheated with ends the relationship, leaving her to ponder her past action. How do you navigate the complexities of a breakup when the real reasons unfold later and karma comes knocking? Join us as we explore this riveting tale of self-discovery, closure, and the unexpected twists of love. What would you do if you found yourself in his shoes? Stick around and let's dive into this intriguing story together. My ex-girlfriend, a 29-year-old female, and I, a 29-year-old male, met in college in 2013. I was 22 and she was 21. We became fast friends and eventually we developed feelings for each other. We became a couple of years later. It was a great relationship and I don't regret it. Fast forward to 2016. I was home when she called me saying she was outside and that we needed to talk. So I went outside and I saw that she was crying in her car. I went up to her and asked what's wrong. She confessed that she cheated on me. I don't want to go into details because I'm trying to keep this short, but I was shocked, hurt, and was teared up. She went on saying that we needed to break up because I deserve better than her and that she developed feelings for her AP. I warned her about rushing it with someone else and that a relationship that begins by cheating usually ends badly. After we finished talking, I walked back to my house, but before I went in, I turned around to see her one more time and she was still crying. Once I went inside, she posted on social media saying, "I wish I could just disappear," with a crying emoji. I proceeded to remove her from social media after that. As I was mourning the end of my relationship, I also thought about how her new relationship would blow up in her face. Fast forward 2 years later, she actually messages me asking me to meet up because she wanted to talk. I knew the day had arrived. So I met her at a diner I live in New Jersey and she was miserable. She looked like she was crying before we met up. After she saw me, she gave a weak eye and I gave her a cold one. This surprised her and she got teary-eyed. I started by asking her what she wanted to talk about. She started saying that her and her AP broke up 2 weeks ago and she admitted that the relationship with him was horrible. It turns out he was a narcissist who emotionally abused her. She also admitted that the guilt of what she did to me never went away and that I was right. She then noticed my emotionless expression and turned away saying, "You used to be so happy and silly. It hurts seeing you like this and I know it's my fault because of my bad, selfish, and dumb decisions." She went to say, "I'm sorry for everything. I thought about you every day for the past 2 years." She then said, "Not only did I ruin us, but I lost my best friend. You were my best friend and I ruined that." She started crying again, saying, "I'm not here to get back together because I don't deserve that and I have no right to ask that." I proceeded to say that it's true that you don't deserve me. It gets quiet and she turned away again. She then said that she missed me and that she missed me for 2 years. Then she asked me to be friends again. Told her I can't promise anything. She starts crying for the final time and I left the diner. As I was walking out, I turned to look at her and she's still crying. Geez, how history repeats itself. In the end, cheating ruins the cheater and the victim. Here, never cheat. It's usually never worth it. Update. So because I've gotten numerous requests, I'm going to post what happened after I left the diner. Hi everyone, I have decided to do an update to my original post due to numerous requests. This will be my only update since there's nothing else to say afterwards. Before I go any further, I have some things to clarify about my original post. One, the AP was emotionally abusive. I know because my ex showed me her text and it was full of stuff like, "No one will ever love you like me," and "You're ugly." Also, he broke up with it by a text. What a scumbag. 2, she did try to reach out to me multiple times during the 2 years she's with the AP. She asked how I was doing. She would say, "I'm sorry," and ask other stuff like, "Are you okay?" I ended up not responding. I didn't block her because I was waiting for when her relationship would blow up. 3, friends and family actually saw her during the 2 years and they all said the same thing. She looked miserable. And when she saw them, she would run up to them and ask how I'm doing and to tell me that she will never stop being sorry. 4, the diner meeting happened back in 2018. Now back to the continuation of my story after I left the diner. After I got home from the diner, she messaged me saying, "If we become friends again, I'll work my butt off to earn back your trust. And if not, please know I'll always be sorry for everything." Fast forward a year later, and I bumped into her at a while buying lunch. We caught up and I wasn't as cold as before. I will admit I'm a little embarrassed about it. What I did next, I offered her to be friends with benefits with me, and she accepted. The friends with benefits phase lasted for a few months. When I look back, I think I did it for closure and to show her what she was missing. I eventually ended it because I felt that I got my closure. She was disappointed, but also understood. A few months later, she started seeing someone new, and they dated until early 2020 before the pandemic hit. She showed up to my home unannounced and revealed to me that the new guy cheated on her with multiple women and actually blamed her for the cheating. Just like the original AP, the new guy broke up with her by text.
Wow.
She went on saying how much she hated herself for what she did to me, but now she understands how I felt. I gave her a hug and told her to take these lessons and never forget them. She thanked me and left. Fast forward to now. I heard she's in individual counseling and remains single by choice. I saw her mother recently and she informed me of the details. As for me, I'm single and working on myself. I'm getting into shape and I'm working in the field of psychology. Can you guess what inspired me? Thank you for reading my story. I appreciate everyone who has read and replied. Story number 2. Ever felt like you were giving your all in a relationship, only to discover the person you loved was drifting away? Today, we unpack the emotional journey of a man who dedicated himself to a marriage of 6 years, only to find out his wife wanted a divorce. What happens when effort seems one-sided and love transforms into friendship? Join us as we delve into the complexities of relationships, addressing the question, how do you cope when the person you thought would be your forever decides it's time to say goodbye? Stay tuned for a story of heartbreak, resilience, and the transformative power of self-discovery. Now let's get on with the story. As my wife and I met close to 6 years ago. Crazy over each other and really intimate. After we got engaged, the intimacy started to die down, and a couple months before the wedding, my wife cut off all sexual acts, stating she wanted to wait until we got married. After getting married, that didn't change. She stated she just didn't have the hormones she had when we were young and crazy, and her sexual drive just wasn't there. I also thought it could be related to her weight gain, self-esteem issues, but I just said as long as nothing was wrong with us, I can live with it. The first year of marriage turned out to be terrible. A lot of arguments and disagreements. She got a job offer where she had to leave 2 hours away for training and ended up being there for months and making no effort to come back home. She eventually told me she wasn't happy. Said she felt like I was not holding my weight around the house, and she always had to tell me what to do. So I really worked on changing and managed to contribute a lot more around the house, laundry, cleaning, cooking. And so things drastically changed and it seemed to be back to normal. And even better, still not really intimate. The second year came around and we seemed to be continuing to do well. We got involved in activities together and didn't really fight much at all. The only problem was she wanted to move. She had a lot of bad memories from the area she grew up in and wanted to get away from there. So we agreed to move, and she wanted to move back to my hometown. So we did. We ended up moving in with my parents for a couple months to save up and look for a house. It wasn't easy because obviously we are living in someone else's house and trying to abide by their living styles. My wife and stepmom weren't vibing well because my stepmom said she didn't contribute around the house like everyone else and was lazy. After about 3 months total, we ended up moving out and into a house we bought together. After about a month in the house, her father flew up with her niece to stay and visit. Well, coronavirus hit and they ended up staying for a month and a half because they couldn't get flights back. It was fine, but we weren't very intimate while her father was here. I expected that. Anyways, her father finally finds a flight back, but her niece ends up staying here for a couple months so we can watch her while her father works. I agreed to it, but it did put some stress into our marriage. Nothing seemed wrong though. We still weren't fighting and just seemed like we were working through things together. Well, about 3 weeks ago, my wife sits me down and says she is unhappy and doesn't feel in love, but she loves me. She feels like we are just great roommates and can get stuff done. She doesn't like that we aren't intimate, and she feels like we just don't have a romantic connection. I'm puzzled because I addressed that shortly after we were married, and when I brought that up, she said she just didn't realize it until now. On top of that, I'm always taking her out on dates and spending time with her. So it wasn't like I neglected that romantic part of our relationship. So we agreed to get some marriage books and try that. If that doesn't work, move to counseling. We got the books about a week ago. I've been reading and learning new things to apply, but when I talk to her about things we can try, she gets defensive and says things like, "You think you're the guru now." And when I asked her if she has read any of the books, she said she hasn't been reading. She said she doesn't even feel like fixing things. She doesn't know what she wants to do. Yeah, I keep telling her I can put 110% into this, but if she doesn't put any effort into it, our marriage will continue to fail. I'm just so confused. I have been working so hard and putting forth so much effort. I work from home. I do 80% of the housework, cook the meals, take care of our niece, take care of the pets, pay the bills, read through these marriage books, and still make time for her when she gets home to try and fulfill our needs. I don't know what else to do. Can someone give me guidance? Feel like I am being a great spouse, but am I just blind to my own shortcomings? I really want to fix it and will do whatever it takes. Thank you for taking time to read through all this and help update. Thank you, everyone, for the advice from the original post. I just wanted to give the community an update. My wife finally got back yesterday from leaving to go see her sister. We talked for a little bit yesterday, but still came to the same thing she has been telling me. She doesn't want to be with me because she doesn't feel in love, emotionally connected, or intimate towards me. She views me as a friend. I told her she needed to choose. Either we work on this and go to counseling, or it's a divorce and we cut ties. She couldn't decide, said to give her the weekend. This morning, I woke up early, made her breakfast and brought it to her in bed, then took her out to eat for lunch and dessert, trying to just spark anything to see if she would agree to work on it. Well, we sat down again after getting back and she said she wanted a divorce and she was 100% on that. It was tough. A lot of crying, sadness, hurt, and all the emotions one would feel. I ended up just going to my room and she left for the night. I decided to get out and do something. So I jogged and listened to some music for a bit. It helped. I came to the realization that we all have such little time on earth and I don't want to waste it moping around. I want to improve myself physically, emotionally, and mentally. I want to just enjoy life and find myself again. So I'm going to do that. And one day I might meet someone who's perfect to continue the journey of life with me. So I'm still sad and hurt, but all that to say I'm moving forward and trying to be positive. Thank you all for your support. If you appreciated the honesty and vulnerability in today's video, remember to hit the like button. It not only shows support for this content, but also helps others discover stories like these. Subscribe to our channel for more compelling narratives, insightful discussions, and a community that understands the complexities of life and love. Until next time, take care, and thank you for being a part of our journey.